Coming to you live from the willitforge studios in a blacked out apartment hidden somewhere in Michigan. I am willitforge, and this is the Watching Paint Dry show. I want to send a quick hi out to all my wonderful chat peoples. Seeing Brat and Spittlebuggies and Swirl Blue, always happy to see all of you here. And do apologize for the timing as the usual. No matter how much time I put into preparations beforehand, I'm always scrambling at the last minute. Maybe it's genetic. I don't know. But I have been working on getting ready for continuing our bright and shiny pictures to bring warm thoughts to the tail end of winter. And I do realize now that I still neglected to get to the store for some yellow paint. So the one is going to have to get creative, I think. Getting stuff beeping and I'm not sure where it's coming from. Always a fun little bit. I need to turn my Twitter notifications off or something for streams. I'll figure it out later. Anyway. And of course, cat's gonna cat. As you can see from the picture, which is mostly natural light, but not super bright, they've dried nicely. They're coming along well. And we'll get some live on the screen. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know why the transition's all of a sudden so slow, unless that's just potato clock. If that's potato clock, well, going to be working on, hopefully within the next month and a half, getting potato clock completely replaced with something newer, bigger, and better. That is the hopes, at least. Looks good. We'll see what happens with that. But we can see they are nice and ready for continued detail. And I haven't quite decided where, for certain where any of these pictures is going, except just the basic start. And thank you, Swirl, for the reminder. If you're enjoying this, or if you find me less than completely annoying, go ahead and give that thumbs up out there. Those likes really help creators out because YouTube certainly isn't interested in helping us out. Other platforms too. You give a follow, share it out, because you might just have somebody who would be interested in this, or somebody that you dislike that would find this absolutely annoying, and you can share it with them to kind of get even with them. No, I did not actually endorse that. Yes, I did. I'm not always a good person. I'm sorry. And still getting some of the things out, like brushes in that. But we are pretty much ready. So we are going to get some tunes started, as is our normal, and go from there. Both Twitch and YouTube banned videos for reasons. Yeah, they do, but they're not. Are they giving any grief now? It looks like the stream is live on those. Yep, so far so good. Just get a bit of a playlist set up, and we will get to digging out the paints and get painting. Yeah, always mention YouTube being bad. They can be a real pain about it, and they do not promote creators. They promote big media interests. So we creators have to promote each other. Speaking of which, Swirl is a creator too, both on Twitch and YouTube, and those streams are always interesting to see. Yeah, Twitch bans people as well. I think you have to have a little bit more cause on the Twitch side, unless you're political the wrong way, and we try really hard not to get political on this channel. There is the one thing. Now we won't get into that now. We'll wait until somebody who, you know, if other people show up, I might drop a hot take, not specifically against them, but because they've not heard the hot take. Okay, so let's toss that in. That. Hey, Epic! Yes, watching the paint dry. We'll actually get more into that in a few, because we're going to be applying the paint that we'll be watching dry. Oh, Irate Alex was suspended for 7 days? What the heck did Alex do to get? I mean, I could see some of his old bear streams or videos doing it in the, applied to today, but stuff going forward, kind of shocking. Okay, we'll start here. Got the playlist set up for any not in the know. My aside from like the free creator public stuff, I do have 2 musics that tend to play on my channel in the streams. Well, there's also a couple of things from the public domain, but one is stuff from Straight No Chaser from I try to go with their public concerts because they openly advocate recording and sharing that stuff. And then, well, if you got it open in different windows, it should be good for both Epic. The other one that I play a lot of is a gentleman named Peter Hollins, and I do have a you could call it a licensing agreement. I don't owe him money for it, but I do. If you look at the YouTube channel, there is a link in the description to his website and his channel where his content can be viewed or acquired. And he lets me use his works in my show for that. It's the most generous offer, and I take him up on it in every art stream. And that said, I got the playlist lined up. I got all the paints we got going on right now out. So I think we are ready to go. Music that's instrumental only, that depends on the performer of the recording. The music itself, if it's music that's in the public domain and things like that, U.S. military bands are a great one to do recordings from because it's illegal for them to be copywritten. They're automatically public domain. But if I did, if I grabbed the guitar and did a cover of a piece of music, that performance would belong to me, and somebody else would not be able to use it without my permission. So it's not the fact just of singing that puts it in the copyright perspective. Being the performance that all does, so even instrumental music could. Just a moment. Wazowski, you've had treats, you've had nip, you've got food, you got water. Settle down. Not familiar with Nightcore style. There are companies that do have large collections of purely instrumental stuff that you can get licensing for and stream. I haven't gotten as far as paying a lot for music licensing, and some of that's just a matter of money coming in to pay for it. It's one of the reasons why I've been so happy with the arrangement with Peter Hollins, because he's cool with creators using his work from YouTube, working on arrangement with him. As long as it's attributed to him, he gets more traffic. He probably gets, well, hopefully he gets more sales from it. I'm hoping to be able to buy some of his stuff because I love his work, and he's got CDs of the stuff. Take a moment because I keep an eye on that cat. He doesn't want to behave today, so it's been cautious eyes on the monster and go from there. Well, without any further ado, I believe I am up. And we got the... no, actually, just purchasing a copy of the performance doesn't give you license to share and stream the music. That is, some people do have that misconception. You do have to work out, you either have to go with something that's in the public domain, having either not been copywritten or fallen out of copyright a significant time ago. Well, fallen out of copyright at least in the past. But simply buying a copy of it, it gives you the right to listen to, it gives you a copy that you can listen to and play at will. And legally speaking, you can even do like make a backup copy, but that doesn't permit broadcasting the performance. It's kind of a personal use thing only. So it's wise to go out there and if there's a creator who you're really enjoying their stuff and you want to use it, reaching out to them and trying to get an okay with them one way or another to use it as well.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burden be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be.
Well, I actually haven't exactly given it a name. Some people have accurately guessed that it is going to be a picture in some manner of a sunflower, but I don't exactly name most of my pieces. especially when, I mean, this is the first season I've been doing in this show where I'm doing like freehand works. It's a little more challenging for me because instead of just color selection, everything is coming out of my mind, which is notoriously bad at visualization. So there's a lot of making things up on the fly, trying to look at photographs and other pictures to try and see how some of the things might be done. I am the farthest thing you can get from a classically trained artist or any form of trained artist. I think I had a couple of art classes, 35, say 35 or so years ago. Yeah, that is. And the two previous sets of tiles that I did in this season had space themes, actually with a lot of dark space and all of that. And there was the request in this group of tiles to make it a brighter, make a set of brighter, more sunny, cheerful images. And so I said, well, let's see what I can do with that. I have not, as a rule, I have not posted anything to DeviantArt on that. The good folks in chat will tell you that I'm very good at downplaying any notion of artistic talent and ability on my side of the equation. I do okay at copying concepts and stuff, but I don't exactly sell myself as an artist. And a lot of my seasons have been the artistic expression is just in picking coloration. Because this is probably going to be the season the closest to actually colors as you might expect them in the content. I do a lot of creative interpretations, kind of the differences as my brain runs it. My own color picks, which is well, first thing we do is we take the color wheel and we throw it out the window, and then I just go with what looks good to me at the moment. In this particular set here, we're looking at trying to play a little bit closer to not an exact match to what you would see in the real world, but identifiable as not a crazy variation from that. If you look at some of my other seasons in this program, I've done coloring pages that I use my laser, which is where the forge name comes from, is my Glowforge laser. And I burn the outlines into the material, typically like a wood material, and then I'll use various media, be it acrylics or watercolor or markers, to do the tinting on that, to do coloration on that. It's actually how this show got started a little over a year ago with an acrylic hedgehog picture on wood. That was for a coworker of mine, just because I'm occasionally a brat, and that particular coworker really likes hedgehogs. Now, I do have to consider and possibly put some of the stuff out on DeviantArt. Yeah, well, that's pretty much the same for me as my, and this is where I've been getting out of my comfort zone a little bit, is because for the last 30 years, Swirl is goading me there. Swirl knows that I have the laser and has watched the laser videos, and it has been a while since I've done a scripted video, which is where I'm getting some grief on my content. Actually, two of my favorite viewers in the audience give me grief over that I should make more scripted content again, and so sooner or later I'm going to have to be a good boy and do that. But I was saying, my phrase for basically 30 years when it came to art, aside from photography, basically I can almost draw convincing stick figures. And now I'm doing stuff like this, where it has made me wonder if I hadn't been telling myself for 30 years that I can't art. Makes me wonder where I'd be getting with that instead. And the one thing, actually, I don't recommend clouds and daily life stills. I'm a big fan of nature photography, or like really stuff like the like rustic, an old farmhouse, an old barn, almost American Gothic type stuff. I could probably really get into doing photography of like derelict buildings, abandoned structures, and things like that. I'm not a big fan, as a rule, of doing people photographs, though I have shot a wedding once. Actually, no, I've shot twice. The second one, I was only basically a backup. But being a geek / nerd generalist and big into photography at the time, apart from, say, for that second one, apart from the photographer, I had the best camera there, and my camera, I think, was either on a par with or slightly better than that photographer's backup camera. So, and no, I have not studied things like all the aperture settings and all of that. When it comes to anything artistic, I'm not classically trained beyond. I can tell you that if you're doing clay sculpting for the furnace, you have to make sure that there is hollow space in it to keep it from self-destructing in the furnace. Okay, so this one here, trying to remember, the one thing I don't like, like write down or record all of the colors that I use in various spots, so sometimes it gets a little bit tricky doing the touch up or additional coats. A lot of my painting is layers of paint over top of things, so I think this is actually a blended color between those two, which is good. So it's a very, for some colors, it's very easy for me to get lost between them and then be doing additional touch-ups of a different kind. Last actual laser video was over a year ago. I've been very naughty. I get it, Swirl. I am suitably chastised. I will start looking through footage I've already shot, as well as other potential scripting and material ideas that I might have, because you have to do a certain amount of pleasing the audience or you don't have an audience. And I do enjoy doing the videos when I'm doing them. I have these times where I'm life can be hard, and bringing yourself to do something even that you enjoy can sometimes be a challenge. But I hear I will comply. I have to figure out what and where and etc. So it's still probably going to be a few weeks, but I will do it. And I know you're going to keep taking me to task until I do, so Well, the title is Watching Paint Dry. Yeah, the title of this stream series is Watching Paint Dry. I've got an even odd schedule for too much on there, too much. I've got an even odd schedule for art and game streams. So I got some Saturdays I will do game streaming. Other Saturdays I do the art streams. And the art streams are titled Watching Paint Dry. Although I have also done markers and stuff like that. And one season is going to be colored pencils. And I gotta get ready for that. Maybe I'll do a laser video on something that's going to be the basis for a season. I'll have to figure that out. There will be one, I promise. It's not just going to be all streamed content. And this picture here is just about done because we're not going to throw in really, we're not going to throw the hand of man in here. And although I do have local somewhat local references that would make it good for adding a pair of islands out there. It's kind of a sad story too. But here's one place that I do have to touch up because I gotta clean this up so that it's not blotchy like that. We get that dry, and I can put new grass over top of that. Once a year for laser videos, okay, gotta keep your name real. Well, I gotta get back on track with it because I do have, I've got this channel, I've got a narration channel, which is largely creepypastas, but I've done some Edgar Allan Poe too. And I've got content that is, aside from video elements, well, the recording is done. I just have to put the video elements in and process. So I've got something that's just about ready for that I need to finish up. I kind of like to get into the habit of, aside from the streams that I do on Saturdays, and the occasional one-off streams that I do whenever, I'd like to get where I can do sorry, losing what little bit of speech ability I have, getting into the but get into where I do a video a month or more with each of my channels is where I'd really like to be, aside from the streams. And we'll see if I can get there. It's going to take a little bit of self-discipline. It's going to take my health remaining stable, including energy and the like. I am, as Monkey says, I'm a cripple. I'll own it. But it does interfere with life sometimes. Yeah, creepypastas. I've got a few creepypastas recorded and videos up. I just it's been a while since I've posted there too, and I do have a story, and I target the shorter stories and the smaller writers. So you don't get from me the stories that everybody has read. You get stuff that's maybe not the best English, but I'll do the scribe light, read as written, and stuff like that. I've got to get, I'm going to try and grab a pencil and do a little bit of sketching on this one to see if I can't come up with an idea of how I'm going to add content to this, because obviously we've got water, we've got sky, it's bright. But the suggestion was possibly a boat, and I got to see if I can figure out how I'm going to do that. And the playlist is going to come back. Y'all kept me chatting a long time, which is cool, but it does slow down the art process a little bit. I don't mind, but I'm here to entertain. You actually switch over next song, which is that song, but it's the actual recording, not an advertisement for.
In the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed, when the sparrows stop their singing, and the sky is clear and red. When the summer ceased its gleaming, when the corn is past its prime, when adventure's lost its meaning, I'll be homeward bound in time. Bind me not to the pasture, chain me not to the plow. Set me free to find my calling, and I'll return to you somehow. If you find it's me you're missing, if you're hoping I'll return to your thoughts, I'll soon be listening, and in the road I'll stop and turn. Then the wind will set me racing as my journey nears its end, and the path I'll be retracing as I'm homeward bound again. Bind me not to the pasture, chain me not to the plow. Set me free to find my calling, and I'll return to you somehow. Bind me not to the pasture, chain me not to the plow. Set me free to find my calling, and I'll return to you somehow. In the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed, when the sparrows stop their singing, and the sky is clear and red, when the summer ceased its gleaming, when the corn is past its prime, when adventure's lost its meaning, I'll be homeward bound in time.
Okay, so I kind of have a sketch, and then looking at it, I'm thinking, I might want that to be a little bit bigger. But at least gives me something that I can play with as a start. And you probably can't see but the slightest bit of it, because it's just a light graphite tracing on the tile. And that gives me something that I can use for painting from there. Take the pause to apply myself with some alcohol and a little relaxant there. And now I just have to find my one specific brush. That's the one. Have a COVID check in the second week. Cool. I'm glad to see you here. Aline. Always happy to see you around. And I do hope that things are going well for you.
Hey, Holland's family.
The general theme of this, and there is not a specific theme name, but it was requested to do something more bright and sunny as we're finishing out winter here in Michigan. And 2 weeks ago we were like everyone else, still caught in the edges of that polar vortex. So we have got a set of 4 brighter, more sunny style tiles. So we do have this, which is going to be turning into a sunflower when it's done. And we have kind of a more of a dune scene than a beach scene. The inspiration for that being Sleeping Bear Dunes in Michigan. Which is tied to a old native story, and as I mentioned, is a bit of a sad story, but there's a lot of history there. So, and I'm one to appreciate history and culture and everything like that. Not to mention just my own Michigan roots and Mrs. Forge, who was descent from native tribes in the state of Michigan, largely. Yeah, we're ready for the spring too, which is why we're getting the nice bright themed tiles. And this is definitely going to have more color added to it, and probably overpainting some of this black. I'm just trying to get the outline more defined. Get things shaped in a bit. Keeping in mind that the background color still needs some work too. And I'll be adding more texture to the water to add character, you could say. Your cat just jumped on you in the black room. Well, mine would do that too. And that's 2 black cats in a black room, so one thing I've learned is you get really adept at spotting cat-shaped holes in the dark with two black cats and an apartment that you keep blacked out as a rule. I think everybody's ready for spring, although Australia is about to come into its fall winter season now. Give the cat a glow in the dark collar. My cats do not have collars, they are purely indoor cats. And I think that one of them would just be annoyed if I put a collar on him. Baby Panther, she would probably turn me into dinner if I put a collar on her. There is no nonsense there. That's definitely an angle off. This is where I could use a straight edge. Downside of trying to freehand, especially trying to freehand live, because that's you all may not see all the mistakes, but I do. That's kind of thing. Yeah, Swirl. I'm thinking of putting at least some white caps, maybe a little bit of lighter blue, and then a white tipping. Probably with this brush actually, which did really well with making the grass on the dune scene. And well, the big lakes I'm familiar with, where you might have a boat like this, white caps are a fact of life. And I did actually, for this sketching here, I did do a sketch based on looking at a sketch on another screen. Yes, Epic, I am a tall guy. However, Baby Panther is pure carnivore. And upsetting her too badly could put me on the meal plan. She does not she doesn't suffer foolishness or what she considers to be ill treatment lightly. But she is also the sweetest, most adorable thing the rest of the time. Yeah, the outline is starting to take shape. Trying to remember from sailboats the way the sails go. Yeah. So we'll have a longer boom off this end. And then the little bit of sailing I have done, learned that this front sail here, they call it the jib, that gives you actually your forward. No, you get this jib and you get the mainsail. One of them gives your boat the tilt in the water. The other one gives it the forward momentum. And it's not always the biggest sail that wins. Okay, so making some progress there because we get at least the outline of our boat, which let's give the boat some color now, which I can do with a slightly bigger brush. I don't think I'll be doing it with a 3. I can do some of it with this one. And let's get some music going again, because y'all kept me talking again. I do remember there was at least one art stream where I didn't have any music after the intro. It was just all chatter as we worked through stuff, but I also like the music, so. As far as me being a tall guy, it just means that when Little Panther does me in, she gets more meals out of it.
Baba yetu yetulie mbinguni yetu yetu amina Baba yetu yetulie jina lako litukuzwe Baba yetu yetulie mbinguni yetu yetu amina Baba yetu yetulie jina lako litukuzwe utupe leo chakula chetu tunachohitaji utusamehe makosa yetu hey kama nasi tunavyowasamehe wale hutukosea usituti katika majaribu lakini utuokoe na yule mwovu milele Baba yetu yetulie mbinguni yetu yetu amina Baba yetu yetulie jina lako litukuzwe Baba yetu yetulie mbinguni yetu yetu amina Baba yetu yetulie jina lako litukuzwe tusamehe kosa yetu
Utupe leo chakula chetu tunachohitaji utusamehe Sa yetu hey Kama situnavyo wasema hawaliotokosea Wasituti katika majaribu lakini utuokoe na yule uovu milele Baba yetu yetulie Jina lako litukuzwe Baba yetu yetulie
And right back at you, Duck Dog. Good to see you. How you doing, man? Seeing lots of friendly and familiar faces here today. And that's one of those things that laser cats approve. Well, as much as they approve of anybody, there's big stranger danger in that pair. But more exposure does make them a little less standoffish. I'm going to try and get my tray here flat so that the paint stops flowing. And get that pair of drying ones out of the way a little bit because I need the space for angles and keeping things on camera here. Just stopping by on the way to a cooking stream, generic encouragement remark. Thank you so much. I will take that encouragement to heart. Have fun over with the cooking stream, folks. Probably better if I don't watch a cooking stream myself right now, because that could make me a bit hungry. And I don't actually need to eat right now, so it'd be a mix of boredom eating and outside prompting, which isn't the best for me. So I'll behave, you have fun. It is dinner time. Well, it's 6:10 here. I mean, it could be if you're into that kind of thing. I usually eat later. But that's usually because I work until 8, so. And Epic's got breakfast time. It's all over the place. And Swirl ate during the stream, so I mean, everybody's doing their own thing on that, and, you know, that's fine by me. Don't call me late for dinner, and I'll take just about anything else.
There are loved ones in the glory whose dear forms you often miss. When you close your earthly story, will you join them in their bliss? Will the circle be unbroken by and by and by?
is a better home awaiting in the sky, oh, in the sky.
Hey, Holland.
Hello, Data. Good to see you here too. How's it going, my friend? Hope things are doing well there. Now I'm driving myself nuts because I don't think that this right here is a match for this sky background, but if it isn't, I don't know what I did with the paint that is. Well, we'll add more and then let it dry, because so many of these colors do change as they dry. And as long as it's brighter than the color used for the water, if I have to take and overpaint it, that is fine. That's not going to be in there though, because it doesn't have to be part of the hull. And I'm way more of a perfectionist than my muscle control allows to add to the picture. Well, it's the Scoop, just keeping on task with the brighter, cheerful spring to summer themed tiles to make remind us of warmer, pleasant days ahead after this winter that we've had. And of course, Lasercat's being very intent on this is the time for Dad attention, or at least checking out what Dad is doing. Okay, I think it's drying brighter, which is exactly what we were hoping for. Because that means I didn't lose a color. I do think that this particular picture is going to need some clouds too, but not a lot, just enough to offset how clean and bright it is. I suppose some of the color difference could be that the white of the tile is still bleeding through a little bit, which is why they all needed some extra coating anyway. Well, that blue is supposed to look really nice. The idea on these tiles is to be that reminder of seasonal things that have been away recently and coming soon. And I like to think that I can be moderately successful some of the time with that. Even though, as I said, I'm not so much on the classic coloration, aiming for photorealistic I'm usually doing some of the crazier color combinations. Kind of do a shock and intrigue the eye at the same time. There is usually a gap between the sails, and you can't see it super clearly, but there is still try and get an angle. There we go. You can maybe see some of that. I painted the line to act as the mast placeholder. Then I painted the sails knowing I was going to have to actually paint the mast itself back in because of where they might encroach on that line. But it's one of those things where I'm giving myself guidelines to work with, and then as is normal for me, those touch-up bits as we go along. Some of this is just the color needs a second coat because this is on a white piece of flooring, and some of that white bleeds through without a couple of coats. You know, I haven't picked the hull bottom color yet. You think that red would be a good one for that? I suppose I could see that, especially with all the blues, pull a really strong contrast. Giving it that white trim work there, and I'm going to put some stripes on the sails themselves, although those stripes are probably going to be something shiny, flashy, rather than not just plain colors going through. I'm thinking of pulling some of my metallics out for that. Actually, the metallics might work for the hull too. Give it a glossy look, because it's one of the things they do with the sailboats. Sand them down and paint them, and they'll wax them too to give a little extra protection and that water resistance. I don't know how much I'm going to put off on the bow other than just a very little bit, because this is kind of a smaller ship. It's not tiny, but it's kind of a smaller one, which would be a lot less sticking out on the front by comparison. I do have to really focus on this little bit, so we're going to get some more music because it'll keep me from being distracted by talking.
When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. Oh, when times get rough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down. Like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down. When you're down and out, when you're on the street, when evening falls so hard, I will comfort you. I'll take your heart. Oh, when times get rough and pain is all around, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down. Like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down. Sail on, silver girl, sail on by. Your time has come to shine. All your dreams are on their way. See how they shine. Oh, if you need a friend, I'm sailing right behind. Like a bridge over troubled water, I will ease your mind. Like a bridge over troubled water, I will ease your mind. Ease your mind.
Hey, Holland's family.
SS Minnow, yeah. Makes me think of the Animaniacs episode with their version of Captain Ahab. And at the end of it, the Warners are stranded out in the ocean, and Dot does this plea for a ship to pick him up, any ship, and up comes the Edmund Fitzgerald, the SS Minnow, and the Titanic. And Yak goes, I think you should have been a little more specific. I know you think that kind of looks pink, and some of that's just the lighting. That is a glossy red. If you remember the, actually, I might have the picture even. Bring up it's the same as the red that's used here. This had a red and then a gold mixed in, textured onto it. But it's the same red. It's not, it looks pink, it's not pink. Or are you saying it should be pink? If you're saying it should be pink, we might have us a little bit of a disagreement. Kind of lay the white paint on a bit thick. Well, you get time for it to dry. It's going to need a couple of coats. Most paints here do. Looks pink. Yeah, it does look pink. Some of that is the light and angle. Having a really bright light source right here. And that I will try and get you folks a better picture later. As I do with so many of mine, try and get pictures later to really show the offset. Because when it's done, it's not going to look pink. As I have a friend that has trouble sometimes telling between pictures of my cats and what's usually the defining factor of it doesn't look like that one is light and angle. If you full screen the paint looks really blurred. Can't always get it focused on the images. I might have to try and see if I can get the camera even farther away from the image. We'll see. Maybe if I push the light back a little bit. No, not helping either. I am going to have to keep working on stuff for that. And Yo Mama's Pink. It was a classically Caucasian lady. You might call her that. Though she is more Asian or more Italian than me. Try and pull up the pictures that I was using as inspiration for this one, because I can only do so much of the design myself. Watching two streams and the stream box is small. Yeah, and that might be some of it too. I don't know what your connection is there, but if you strain it enough, they have difficulties keeping some of the quality up. And I know I'm streaming to 3 places, but I'm streaming through Restream, so I'm only doing one channel out. And that skip right there, where it starts and then it takes time to continue loading, that's one of the things that I'm hoping will go away with replacing Potato Clock. We'll see.
Poor unfortunate souls in pain, in need This one longing to be thinner, that one wants to get the girl, and do I help them? Yes, indeed. Those poor unfortunate souls, so sad, so true. They come flocking to my cauldron crying, spells, Ursula, please, and I help them. Yes, I do.
So prepare for a chance of a lifetime. Be prepared for sensational news. A shining new era is tiptoeing nearer.
And where do we feature?
Just listen to teacher. I know it sounds sordid, but you'll be rewarded when at last I am given my dues. And injustice deliciously square. Be prepared. Beata Maria, you know I am a righteous man. Of my virtue I am justly proud. Beata Maria, you know I'm so much purer than the common vulgar, weak, licentious crowd. Then tell me, Maria, why I see her dancing there, why her smoldering eyes still scorch my soul. I feel her, I see her, the sun caught in her raven hair is blazing in me out of all control. Like fire, hellfire, this fire in my skin, this burning desire is turning me to sin.
No one's slick as Gaston, no one's quick as Gaston, no one's neck's as incredibly thick as Gaston.
For there's no one in town half as manly, perfect, a pure paragon.
You can ask any Tom, Dick, or Stanley, and they'll tell ya whose team they prefer to be on. No one's been like Gaston, a kingpin like Gaston. No one's got a swell cleft in his chin like Gaston.
As a specimen, yes, I'm intimidating.
My, what a guy, that Gaston! Mother knows best. Listen to your mother. It's a scary world out there. Mother knows best. One way or another, something will go wrong, I swear. Ruffians, thugs, poison ivy, quicksand, cannibals and snakes, the plague. Yes. Also large bugs, men with pointy teeth, and stop, no more. You'll just upset me. Mother's right here. Mother will protect you. Darling, here's what I suggest. Skip the drama, stay with mama. Mother knows best.
Yes. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Transformation Central. Transformation Central. Transformation Central. Transformation Central. Transmogrification Central. Can you feel it? You're changing, you're changing, you're changing, alright. I hope you're satisfied. But if you ain't, don't blame me. You can blame my friends on the other side. But you got what you wanted.
But you lost what you had. So Ali turns out to be merely Aladdin. Just a con, need I go on? Take it from me.
His personality flaws give me adequate cause
To send him packing on a one-way trip, so his prospects take a terminal dip.
his assets frozen.
The venue chosen is the ends of the earth. Whoopee!
So long, ex-prince.
Hello, Kink the Monk. Or Kink the Mook, I'm sorry. So I'm coming in a little bit softly. I don't try to like don't try to overpower the music, but I do like to be heard in the background there. Let me know if this sounds okay or if it's still coming kind of soft. Some of that's just my proximity to the mic and if I'm facing it, I'm sure. Catch you later, Kyler. Enjoy your little pocket universe there. Hopefully the rest of your day goes smoothly. No, I do have music that I play while I am painting when I'm not talking like this. Or talking like this, or however else I might talk. And I do sing with it, but no, the music's not coming from anywhere else. It is part of the stream. And thank you for the confirmation there, Squirrel. Picture quality is what picture quality does. Some of that might be the camera. Some of that's probably the streaming mechanics. I can tell you the cleanest view, I do take a look at other sources too. The cleanest view is probably over on DLive, but DLive kind of they kind of target quality more than a lot of other streaming platforms, and they will have you buffer for longer or have the stream running behind farther for you to maintain that quality. Well, I do thank you. This particular set, the inspiration is more bright and cheerful sunny stuff to counter the winter blahs. And at least some of the pictures have their own inspiration, but they also incorporate me going a bit out of my comfort zone as I'm doing the fully freehand. I might be giving myself a little bit of sketch here and there to follow, but even the sketching I'm doing myself, and I'm not exactly, I'm nowhere near a classically trained artist, and I'm not considered myself especially talented in the art arena as far as skills. I prefer my color selections, but I look at the world a little differently than a lot of other people. If you look at a couple of other streams in this series, I've done tiles with space themes. If you go farther back, you see where I've done things where I got the outlines from like coloring pages and then filled it in myself. Which is one of those things that I will do. And because I have a beautiful laser, yes, Swirl, I am going to take, I've not forgotten, I will work on scripted videos again. But when you can take and burn an image into a material and use that as the pattern for stuff, well, that's exactly what I've done in other seasons of the show. And I do hope that, Kink, I do hope that you're not a more classically trained artist, because if you are, I might just send you off the deep end with some of the things I do. And I don't intend any harm, I just worry that it's going to happen one of these days. Let's see. Gotta clean the line up here a little bit where the darker hits the lighter. Can have a little bit of fuzzy on the edge, but there's they don't tend to be tends to be more clear lines where water depths and colors meet, unless you're doing with something like a muddy river emptying into a clear bay, and that can get a little bit more fuzzy. And take a look at that. And need to let some of this dry, as the show title suggests. I'll wash that brush. I'll get some music going. I'll wash that brush, and we'll pull back out the tiles that have been drying the longest and take a look at them again, because we're only an hour and 3/4 in. We got time.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, wanting to start again? Do you ever feel so paper thin, like a house of cards, one blow from caving in? Do you ever feel already buried deep, 6 feet under screen, but no one seems to hear a thing? Do you know that there's still a chance for you? 'Cause there's a spark in you. You just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. Just on the night like the 4th of July. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come and show 'em what you're worth. Make 'em go, as you shoot across the sky. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make 'em go, you're gonna leave 'em all in awe. You don't have to feel like a wasted space. You're original, cannot be replaced. If you only knew what the future holds. After a hurricane comes a rainbow. Maybe a reason why all the doors are closed, so you could open one that leads you to the perfect road. Like a lightning bolt, your heart will glow, and when it's time, you'll know. You just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. Just on the night like the Come and show 'em what you're worth. Make 'em go, as you shoot across the sky.
There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun, and it's been the ruin of many poor boy, and Lord, I know I'm one. My mother was a tailor. She sewed my new blue jeans. My daddy was a gambling man down in New Orleans.
Oh, mothers, tell your children not to do what I have done. Don't spend your life in sin and misery in the house of the rising sun. I've got one foot on the platform, the other on the train. I'm going back to New Orleans to wear that ball and chain.
I'm going back to New Orleans. My race is almost run. I'm going back to spend my life in the house of the rising sun.
Oh, I definitely do appreciate any and all kind words. I must apologize. I do still I get uncomfortable with and skeptical of compliments and positive feedback on things like art because I have spent years convincing myself that I couldn't. And so when it comes to actually doing, I'm still I hate when that happens. But I can fix that. I get skeptical when I get positive feedback still because of convincing myself that I can't, and that is a habit I'm trying to get out of. Well, you go get some rest, Epic. I know your schedule's getting turned around with work, and sleep is important if you're one of those people that can manage it. So have a good one. I will probably see you in the chat in one of Moonshock's streams. But I am here pretty much every Saturday around this time. I do an even odd schedule between art and games. But if you come here, same time, same station, you'll either catch watching paint dry or something I'm doing in a game. My current gaming endeavor, I am flipping a house in 7 Days to Die. trying to make it both homely and at least horde resistant. And we'll see how that turns out too. Hey, Google moderator team, you mean YouTube deleted that comment? I don't see any deleted comments, but I might not be looking at the right screen for that. Not homely, homie. Well, I can be kind of homely too. Of course, there are those that might say that that's me being hypercritical of myself too. I just say they have bad taste. Trying to be careful because a pair of my paints have kind of run together, and that includes the metallic gold that I'm using for these sunflower petals, which I'm laying on pretty thick, so the first round of petals are going to have to dry before I do the next bit. And what it's going to get a it's going to get a color on top of the gold down in the base of the petal, probably like a red or a bronze or copper metallic, to give it that deep color you might see at the heart of a sunflower petal. And then with that, start doing the overlap of another round of petals with it. So this particular picture especially has got, for all it looks like it's coming along well, it's got some work to be done on it yet. And we're gonna take, might not fit real well here, but we're gonna go ahead and drop one right there. And I'll have to touch up the background when that's dried out more, but trying to be careful not to underdo it or overdo it on stuff. And of course now it's even more identifiable as what it's intended to be when it's done, being that sunflower. Oh, you deleted your Yo Mama joke. Oh, in that case, I'm not going to say one because I don't want them to spike my stream either. I have enough fun with my stream with just dealing with various copyright claims for stuff that isn't necessarily protected for my use, but the automatic algorithms still play fast and free with. And these are coming along well. Yeah, I wanted to clean up the grass on this one. And beyond that, I think our only modification to this one is going to be adding some more character to the water itself, maybe something to act as clouds. because as much as the urge keeps hitting me to, I'm not going to add the 2 islands out there to tie together to Michigan lore. I'm just going to keep this one a little simpler. This is a purely nature picture right here.
I am a question to the world, not an answer to be heard, or a moment that's held in your arms. What do you think you'd ever say? I won't listen anyway. You don't know me, and I'll never be what you want me to be. Understand, I'm a boy, no, I'm a man. You can take me and throw me away. And how can you learn what's never shown? Yeah, you stand here on your own. They don't know me, 'cause I'm not here. And I want a moment to be real. Wanna touch things I don't feel. Wanna hold on and feel I belong. And how can the world want me to change? They're the ones that stay the same. They don't know me, 'cause I'm not here. And you see the things they never see. All you wanted, I can be. Now you know me, and I'm not afraid. And I wanna tell you who I am. Can you help me be a man? They can't break me as long as I know who I am. And I want a moment to be real. Wanna touch things I don't feel. Wanna hold on and feel I belong. And how can the world want me to change? They're the ones that stay the same. They can't save me, but I'm still here. They can't tell me who to be, 'cause I'm not what they see. Yeah, the world is just sleeping while I keep on dreaming for me. While I keep on dreaming on. And the words are just whispers and lies that I'll never believe. And I want a moment to be real. Wanna touch things I don't feel. Wanna hold on and feel I belong. And how can they say I never change? They're the ones that stay the same. I'm the one now, 'cause I'm still here. I'm the one, 'cause I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still here.
Okay. So, looking at this one, I'm kind of thinking that this one here can be done. Let's bring it kind of front and center. It's having the dunes with a little bit of grass at various places, the water with some whitecaps coming in, the sky brilliant blue with just a touch of clouds. Not enough clouds to overcast you, enough clouds to really exemplify how spectacular beautiful the day is. What y'all think? If y'all agree with me, I will just do some minor touch-ups to it, but the general idea of the picture is finished then. And one of those touch-ups is to minimize that lining at the top of a couple of those dunes, just to the barest line there, if I can. And people who have watched this channel for a while know I'm a perfectionist, and I tend to punish myself with the fine details, and that can lead to the concern of being seeking a level of perfection where I take a perfectly good picture and mess it up. And we're trying not to do that here. And this is one of those times where it'd be really nice to have a poll function in the chat. Gonna go make food. Well, have a good one, Data. If you come back before I'm done, look forward to it. If you don't, have a good one. All I got going on here is just touching up a few lines, just make it a little smoother, make it so that the brown lining is not overpowering, it's just present. I'm working with my smallest brush to try and not overdo the detail or like overpower and not mess up a huge space by being too ambitious with it. There. If I push for too much more, I'm going to really mess things up, I think. Is that a bright, sunny, cheerful enough scene for you, Swirl? If that keeps drying, I might be able to do a little bit more on the sunflower tonight. We'll see. Trying to be careful on Twitter on some of your comments, but you did reply to a post from Monkey. Yeah, when it's Monkey, Sinatra, and Terry, I try to be really careful what and how I reply. But I do have the advantage that I've got a separate Twitter account that I use purely for politics, and sometimes that is its own saving grace. Yeah, pink boat. Yeah, pink you. I'm going to make sure that this boat is not pink. Or salmon. Even if it means I have to take the glossy out of it, because we're going to make it red. And if I have to take and overcoat the red with fire engine to make it red, we're still going to make it red. Pink boat. Yeah, laugh it up. Laugh it up. Everything's a joke to you, I swear.
Somewhere bright star.
And when the night wind starts to sing a lonesome lullaby, it helps to think we're sleeping underneath the same big sky. Somewhere out there,
If love can see us,
love can see us through.
we'll be together somewhere out there, out where dreams come true.
Trying to get really precise on this line. It's like maximum magnification and trying not to breathe too hard. And then I go and hit my headphones on the microphone stand. Yeah, more on the pop filter, but it's all tied through to the same mount. Come on, play.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dreams that you dream of once in a lullaby. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true. Ooh, someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you'll find me. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dare to, oh why can't I? Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you'll find me. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the
in the night sky, or a beautiful sunrise. There's so much they hold, and just like them old stars, I see that you've come so far to be right where you are. How old is your soul? I won't give up on us, even if the skies get rough. I'm giving you all my love, I'm still looking up. And when you're needing your space to do some navigating, I'll be here patiently waiting to see what you find. 'Cause even the stars stay burn, and some even fall to the earth. And we've got a God to learn. God knows we're worth it. No, I won't give up. I don't wanna be someone who walks away so easily. I'm here to stay and make the difference that I can make. Our differences, they do a lot to teach us how to use the tools and gifts we got here. We got a lot at stake. And in the end, you're still my friend. At least we didn't intend for us to work. We didn't break, we didn't burn. We had to learn how to bend without the world caving in. I had to learn what I got and what I'm not, and who I am. I won't give up on us, even if the skies get rough. I'm giving you all my love. I'm still looking up. I'm still looking up. I won't give up, and I won't know I'm not giving up. God knows I'm tough, and I'm here. I know that we gotta live to we're alive, and God knows we're worth it. I won't give up on us, even if the skies get rough. I'm giving you all my love. I'm still looking up. All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for the daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere, and the tears are filling up their glasses. No expression, no expression. Hide my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I ever had. I find it hard to tell you, 'cause I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Children find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I ever had. I find it hard to tell you, 'cause I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very bad
if there's anyone still out there. Now it's a time to toss out some of my shills. Of course, we got Moonshock, who does various game streams throughout the week and the weekend. He does have a day job now, so he just does afternoon game streams on weekdays, and then when schedule and everything else allows, morning and afternoon on the weekends. He is in Grounded, Arc, and Subnautica on various days. And it's always fun and interesting to watch him come up with new and creative ways to get himself killed, or to redeem points on the channel specifically to try and accomplish said task ourselves. That's at twitch.tv/Nighthaven, NYTEHAVEN. Sundays, Jack Gunsky's channel on YouTube does Quippers United. Lords of the Night is still a thing. Weeknights and Saturdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. They have continued so far, even without Monkey. Satsu's gaming streams are a little more out there now. Satsu's in the middle of a move situation, I believe, or he's coming up on a move, and that is adding to some of that confusion and the like, because he's working on making stuff for his channel to run while he is offline for the move, and he's been working really hard on that, and so game streams have been kind of back burner for him. Frosted Glass still does the corner on Friday nights, usually 11:30, which is its own form of Chaos Incarnate. He also does MST3K nights on Sundays after Quippers United, I believe. Now, and then Kyler, who popped in here, if he doesn't have to work on Sundays, he does his game stream 4 p.m. Eastern. He is currently coming up with his own creative ways to die in 7 Days to Die. And keep an eye out for other creators out there, things you enjoy, because as I've said, YouTube does a terrible job of promoting us. We have to promote ourselves. We have to promote each other. And I mentioned Swirl Blue does some streams and some videos of various gameplay. And that is definitely entertaining to watch. At least I think it is. If you find the content I'm making to be enjoyable, share it with your friends. If you find it irritating, annoying, terrible, whatever, share it with the people you don't like. Share it with everybody. Let them figure out which group they fall into. I won't tell them which group they're in if you won't. Otherwise, I am also here Saturdays, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, plus or minus a few minutes. Pushing consistently even odds for gaming and arts. What I'm currently doing in gaming is I'm flipping a house in 7 Days to Die. And the arts are currently these acrylic freehands. Some of them are just straight out of my head. Some of them are inspired by one or more pictures I've looked up, or I get some reference to the pictures to get some idea of what I might be trying to make it look like. Not to say that it's necessarily very good all the time, but I make the effort to come up with some nice, pretty pictures, enjoyable designs, and everything like that, or at least color patterns that offend the sensibilities so much that they're entertaining. I've done that too. Yes, I did just paint that green, and yes, I'm specifically covering it over to have forced perspective depth of this tree in front of that one. And I know there's probably more people I would normally shill, and I am just... it's been one of those weeks. I'm drawing blanks on that. I guess you can watch out for Johnny Hellcat and Hank Camel on the YouTubes. A lot of people, the easiest way to keep an eye out for them is just to get into their Discords and watch for those alerts. That includes if you want to keep an eye out for Fairly Becca. Gamer Valine, who I believe streams on Twitch. Prospero and any of the other minions of the zoo. There's just a lot of choices and options out there. And I gotta give this a little more character so it's not a unitan sand, but I might have to open a new bottle of paint to get to that. And right now, some of the stuff that I've done needs to get to drying. And yes, the lightning on here is deliberate. I'm going to have to overrun it up here too with more of the dry brushed. I think I need to wait for that brown to solidify a little bit. It might work with what I got. I did actually reference to a coastal picture, and the palm trees that these are supposed to mimic actually do kind of have coloration similar to a paper birch. So trying to get some lightning in it. The lightning up here is deliberate too. Kind of light cloud color. I'm going to try and dry brush over it with the turquoise, but I want it to be lighter than the sea colors. And still plenty of detail to put in some of these. Now, question if the petals, now some of them are dry enough, some of them are not. So we are instead going to do some touching up on the stem, even though that means we're overlaying our green. We'll add some of that green back. And just realized that I should have had a petal right here too. So, far from perfect. But we're progressing. Not sure there's a whole lot I can do on this one right now, because we still have, I did lay the petals on kind of thick. They need a little extra time to dry. These up here aren't looking too bad, but for the detail I'm going to be adding next, it's better if I can do them all at once. So I think I'm going to take the sailboat picture and add some of that supplemental detail to it. I was thinking about throwing in some cloud work and some texture to the water, because it's not going to, there's a lot of drying to do still.
Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to one who lives there. She once was a true love of mine. Tell her to make me a cambric shirt. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Without no seams or needlework. Then she'll be a true love of mine. Tell her to find me an acre of land. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Between salt water and the sea sand, then she'll be a true love of mine. Tell her to reap it with a sickle of leather. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. And gather it all in a bunch of heather. Then she'll be a true love of mine. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme.
Hey Hollins family, thank you so much for watching Scarborough Fair.
So, is this giving it a little more character? Or am I just making it less enjoyable. Perfect as is, huh? Well, I still got to do some more detail on the boat. But I am not happy with the boat where it is yet. One, it's overly simplified. And two, the coloration isn't where I want it yet. And three, I am going to put some stripes on the sails. But I do like the way that the cloud, the water's coming together, or the sky and the water's coming together with the a little more texture to the water, just implied by white caps, just a little bit of clouding in the sky. Actually going to try and damp brush that just to see if I can thin it a little bit. There we go. Boat, yes. Remainder is good. That works for me. That works for me. Of course, the problem that puts me in, I've got one tile completely finished. I've got one tile that's nearly finished, but to finish up with the boat, I do have to let what's there dry. And then these, which definitely need to be doing some drying. So I'm thinking, well, I don't quite want to call the stream yet, but I might need to pull out one of my black tiles that I've got sitting around and come up with the design to put on it. I'll have to think about that. I should take a moment and pit stop here. So I'm going to throw in a couple of just instrumental interludes. And I will be back in a few minutes. All right, I am back. Thank you for waiting. I do now, of course, have the question if these tiles here are not going to be dry enough to do the next round of detail right now. I need a suggestion for a picture to do next. I can't come up with everything all the time by myself. Although something did just come to mind for black tile as a very, very minimalist thing. I don't know though. I don't know, is he a little bit of the color thing going on? Oh, that might work. That might work nicely. Not. Sorry for the extra noise. I think I have the idea. Oh, I so love D-Live sometimes. Okay, so going to try something here that I don't know how well it is going to work out. We're gonna go with something very, very minimalist on a black tile and see what we can get.
Everything you're about to hear is made by the human voice and mouth. And some claps. Yeah.
Some nights I stay up, cashing in my bad luck. Some nights I call it a draw. Some nights I wish that my lips could build a castle. Some nights I wish they'd just fall off. But I still wake up and I see your ghost. Oh Lord, I'm still not sure what I stand for. Oh, what do I stand for? What do I stand for? Most nights I don't know anymore. This is war. What are we waiting for? Why don't we break the rules already? I was never one to believe the hype. Save that for the black and white. I tried twice as hard and I'm half as right. But here they come again to take my style. That's alright. I found a mother in my bed tonight. She stops my bones from wondering just who I am, who I am, who I am. I'm scared you'll forget me again. Some nights I always win, but I still wake up, I still see your ghost. Oh Lord, I'm still not sure what I stand for. What do I stand for? What do I stand for? I don't know.
So this is it. I sold my soul for this. Washed my hands of that for this. I miss my mom and dad for this. No. When I see stars, that's all they are. When I hear songs,
they sound like a swan. So come on, come on, so come on. Well, that is it, guys. That is all. 5 minutes in and I'm bored again. 10 years of this, I'm not sure if anybody understands. This one is not for the folks at home. Sorry to leave, mama had to go. Who the hell wants to die alone? I'll try to fear the desert sun. Breaking for my sister, the calm that she called love. But then I look into my nephew's eyes, then you wouldn't believe the most amazing things that can come from, some terrible lies.
A deer, a female deer, red, a drop of golden sun. Me, a name I call myself, far, a long, long way to run. So, a needle pulling thread, long, a note to follow, salty, a drink with jam and bread that will bring us back to dough.
A deer, a female deer,
Ray, a drop of golden sun.
me,
A name I call myself, far, a long, long way to run. A needle pulling thread.
A note to follow, so tea, a drink with jam and bread
That will bring us back to dough.
High on the hill was a lonely goat herd. Ole, ole. Loud was the voice of the lonely goat herd. Ole, ole.
Folks in the town know it's cries remote herd.
Ole, ole. Lusty and clear from the goat herd's throat. Ole, ole.
Oh, ho, lady, ole, oh, ho, lady, ole, oh, ho, lady, ole, oh, lady, ole,
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things.
Girls in white dresses with blue satin sashes, snowflakes that stay on my nose and eyelashes,
Silver white winters that melt into springs. These are a few of my favorite things.
when the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad.
Beach Boys fans in the house tonight? Tough to do the 60s without covering a Beach Boys tune, but, you know, we didn't want to just cover a Beach Boys tune. We wanted to put the straight gun chaser twist on it. So we thought to ourselves, all right, what if these guys, instead of growing up out west, what if they grew up right here in the Jersey Shore? And then we thought, all right, what if these guys grew up more or less with us at the same time we did? Well, I thought the song might sound a little something like this.
1, 2, 3.
Jersey girl, my
Okay, so for kind of a minimalist approach on a black tile, how is this looking, aside from off-center in every possible way? Excellent and appropriate. It kind of matches the channel, doesn't it? I might have to do a couple of coats with that pink because that glitter paint doesn't stand out quite as much. In fact, we're going to go ahead and add a little extra to it right now. Because it's one of those that's a lot brighter going on than it is when it's done, dried, and it might take a few coats to even done thickly. It might take a few coats to really stand out against the black other than just being sparkly. And yes, that is sometimes what greets me out of the darkness. Well, different eye colors, but you get the notion. But with that, I think I need to get to cleaning brushes and letting stuff dry so that it's... after I do this with the... pupil. I have a little bit of blue touch up on that and everything. That's okay. That's just kind of an impromptu out of the dark art project on the side. Get to cleaning stuff, have another song on, and start shutting stuff down. Remember, the stream's not over till the laser cat's purrs.
You know I like my chicken fried, a cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio on. Well, I was raised up beneath the shade of a Georgia pine, that's home, you know, sweet tea, pecan pie. Where the peaches grow, my house is not much to talk about, but it's filled with love that's grown in southern ground, and a little bit of chicken fried, a cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio on. I've seen sunrise, seen love in the woman's eyes, I feel the touch of a precious child. No mother's love. Well, it's funny how it's the little things in life that mean the most, not where you live, or what you drive, or the price tag on your clothes. There's no dollar sign on a piece of mind, this I've come to know. So if you agree, have a drink with me, raise your glasses for a toast to a little bit of chicken fried, a cold beer on a Friday night. child. And those who gave their lives so we don't have to sacrifice all the things we love, like our children. Cold breeze on a Friday night, everything's a bit just right. And the radio up, you don't like to shake it right. Cold breeze on a Friday night, everything's a bit just